3 hours. That's what the alert says. Not 5 minutes of chaos, not 10 seconds of panic. 3 full hours to decide what you save and what you abandon forever. And here's the problem. Most people waste the first 2 hours trying to pack their entire life into a car. They fill garbage bags with clothes they'll never wear. They stock boxes of books they'll never read. They wrap picture frames they'll never hang. And when hour 3 hits, when the smoke is visible or the water is rising or the riots are 2 blocks away, they realize something brutal. The car is full, but the essentials are missing. That's the difference between a 5-minute evacuation and a 3-hour evacuation. 5 minutes teaches you what keeps you alive. 3 hours tests whether you're smart enough to use the time. So here's the protocol. Not what to grab, how to think. Because if you think like a refugee, you pack like one, and refugees survive. Hour 1 is not for packing. Hour 1 is for deciding. You don't touch a single item in the first 60 minutes. You make lists, 3 lists. List 1, irreplaceable. These are items that cannot be replaced with money, time, or effort. Birth certificates, passports, social security cards, deeds, titles, hard drives with photos, medication you can't refill, family heirlooms that existed before you and must exist after. Not everything's sentimental, only things that rebuilding your life legally or emotionally requires. This list should fit in one fireproof bag. If it doesn't, you're lying to yourself about what's irreplaceable. List 2, survival. Not comfort, survival. Water, food that doesn't spoil, clothing for the climate you're evacuating into, shelter items if you're going into the wilderness, cash and small bills, copies of your irreplaceable documents, first aid, fire starters, tools. This list should fit in one backpack per person. If it doesn't, you're packing luxuries. List 3, restart. These are items that let you rebuild faster when the crisis ends. Laptop with charger, phone with charger, portable battery banks, USB drives with scans of every important document, a change of professional clothes for job interviews, basic toiletries so you don't look like a disaster victim when applying for housing or aid. This list fits in one duffel bag. 3 lists, 3 containers, 1 hour to write them down. Because the people who survive evacuations with their futures intact are the ones who didn't guess. They decided. Cell service is failing. Towers are overloaded. Calls won't connect. Texts won't send. The people trying to reach family members are getting nothing. No signal, no updates, no information. And that's when the questions start. How long do we wait? Should we turn around? Is there another route? But turning around isn't an option. The lanes behind you filled in 30 minutes ago. You're boxed. Front, back, sides. Thousands of cars. No exits, no movement. This is when people start making their first mistake. They stay in the car. Because leaving the car feels like giving up, and nobody wants to admit they're trapped. Hour 3. Reality. The heat is unbearable. It's summer, or it's a wildfire evacuation and smoke is in the air, or it's a hurricane and humidity is crushing. Doesn't matter. Sitting in a metal box with no AC is a slow cook. Kids are crying. Elderly passengers are struggling. Pets are panting. People are draining their water bottles. The ones who packed smart have enough. The ones who assumed they'd reach their destination in 2 hours are running out. And that's when the first people abandon their cars. Not all of them, just the smart ones. They grab their backpacks, they take their essentials, they lock the doors, and they walk. Some people yell at them, "You can't just leave your car. What if traffic starts moving? You're blocking the road." The people walking don't respond, because they've done the math. 3 hours in gridlock, 0 movement, fuel running low, water running out. Staying in the car is waiting to become a statistic. Walking is survival. Hour 4. Chaos. Now more people are leaving their cars. Families, individuals, groups forming. The road becomes a footpath. People are walking along the shoulder, between cars, over medians. Some are carrying bags, some are carrying children, some are carrying nothing because they didn't pack right. And this is where it gets dangerous, because not everyone leaves. Some people stay in their cars and watch others walk away. They honk, they yell, they get angry at the people abandoning vehicles, as if staying makes them more loyal, as if waiting proves something. It doesn't. It just means they'll be the last ones stuck when the fuel runs out completely. Hour 5, the shift. Emergency broadcasts start coming through on radios. Evacuate on foot if necessary. Abandon vehicles in a safe manner. Proceed to marked shelters. Official permission to leave. Now the stubborn ones start moving, but they're 5 hours behind. They're dehydrated, they're exhausted from sitting in heat, they're unprepared because they thought the car would save them. And the people who left in hour 3 are already 2 miles ahead, closer to water, closer to shelter, closer to safety. That's the difference. Not strength, not luck. Timing. The decision to leave early versus waiting for permission. Now, let's talk about what you actually do when you realize you're stuck. Assess immediately. But you need traffic stops moving for more than 20 minutes, you make a decision. Do you wait or do you walk? Here's how you decide. Check your fuel. If you're below half a tank, you don't have the luxury of waiting. You're gonna run out. And when you run out, you're walking anyway. Except now you're walking in hour 6 instead of hour 2. Check your water. If you have less than 1 gallon per person, you're already in trouble. Sitting in heat drains hydration fast. Walking drains it faster, but at least walking gets you closer to a source. Check your surroundings. Is there smoke? Is there water rising? Is there visible threat approaching? If yes, you don't wait, you move, because waiting in the path of danger is suicide. Prepare to walk. You don't just get out and start moving, you pack. Take your backpack. If you don't have one, use a pillowcase, a trash bag, anything. Pack water first, then food, then documents, medication, phone, charger, then one change of clothes. Everything else stays in the car. Yes, even the things you fought to bring. You're not moving a household, you're moving yourself. Secure the car. Lock it. Leave a note on the dashboard with your name and destination if you want. Turn off the engine. Leave the keys inside if you're never coming back for it. Take them if you think you might. But understand this, that car is already gone. What you need to return in 2 weeks and it's still there, it's been baked, looted, or damaged. You're not securing an asset, you're closing a chapter. Choose your direction. Do not follow the crowd blindly. Most people will walk forward along the highway. That's not always smart. If the blockage is ahead, walking toward it is walking toward the problem. Look for side roads, service roads, paths that parallel the highway but aren't clogged. Use your offline maps if you downloaded them. If you didn't, you navigate by sun position and common sense. Away from danger, toward civilization, toward water sources. Move as a unit. If you're with family, you stay together. No splitting up, no I'll go ahead and scout. You move at the pace of the slowest person, and you take breaks every hour, not because you want to, because if you don't, someone collapses, and collapsed people become anchors. Ration immediately. You don't drink all your water in the first 2 hours. You sip. Small amounts, frequent intervals. Same with food. You eat enough to maintain energy, not enough to feel full, because full is a luxury. Energy is survival. Avoid conflict. You will see people arguing over abandoned cars, over supplies left behind, over space on the shoulder. Do not engage. Your job is movement. Not justice, not fairness, movement. Every argument is time wasted. Every confrontation is energy burned. You walk past it. Recognize the breaking point. At some point, you'll want to stop. Your feet hurt, your back aches, you're thirsty, you're tired. This is the moment that separates survivors from casualties. Do you push through or do you sit down? If you sit, you might not get back up. Not because you can't, because mentally, stopping feels like relief. And relief is addictive. You tell yourself, just 5 minutes. 5 becomes 15. 15 becomes an hour. And now you're the person others walk past. So you don't sit unless you've reached a checkpoint, a shelter, or a water source. You keep moving. Adapt to night. If you're still walking when the sun sets, everything changes. Visibility drops, temperature drops, navigation gets harder. This is when you need your light source. Flashlight, headlamp, glow stick. If you don't have one, you stop. You don't walk blind. You wait for dawn, and you use the darkness to rest, ration, and prepare for the next day. Arrive. Eventually, you reach somewhere, a shelter, a checkpoint, a town. You don't celebrate, you assess. Are you safe here? Is there water? Is there food distribution? Is there communication? If yes, you stay. If no, you keep moving. Because survival isn't about reaching one destination. It's about staying ahead of collapse. Here's the truth about gridlock. It's not the disaster, it's the filter. The disaster is behind you. The gridlock is what separates people who escape from people who don't. And the ones who escape aren't the ones with the best cars. They're the ones who realized the car was already irrelevant. So when you get stuck, you don't wait for permission to leave. You don't wait for traffic to clear. You don't wait for someone to save you. You make the decision and you walk. Because every hour you stay is an hour you lose. And in evacuation, time is the only currency that matters.
The moment you get stuck in traffic, what happens next isn't determined by luck. It's determined by whether you understand this one truth. The car was never the escape. You are.